If you like Luther Vandross, you'll love Luther Vandross singing The Impossible Dream from the hit 1965 musical Man of La Mancha. It's in the description. So wait, before you go there, like this video and subscribe. Why am I talking about The Impossible Dream? Because that's our question today for the cards. So stick around for Life's Potluck Buffet. I'm John Paulus. Thanks for joining me. A lot of people know Luther Vandross as a singer, and some of us know Luther Vandross as Zach, the career counselor slash workforce development professional who starred in a public service announcement for children that aired during children's cartoons on, I forget which network. Anyway, back in the 80s. And the best, so his name is Zach of all trades, which is awesome. But the best video, which I'm also going to put in the description, and by far it's the best video ever made for me, and that's the Future Blob video. And it's well, you watch the video if you haven't seen it already. If you're familiar with it, please revel in the retro glory of the Future Blob by looking at that video. I just watched it a second ago, and I realized that basically it predicted my future, because apparently at some point I wanted to be Zach from this commercial. I wanted to be this Luther Vandross character, and I did. So yeah, there you go. But that's a little bit kind of a meta version of the thing, because while I think Susie is the name of the character. Is it Susie? Anyway, there's a young lady who's asked by the career counselor, coach, and workforce development specialist Zach, who is a cartoon character voiced by Luther Vandross. And I still don't know what the name of the young lady is, but anyway, she's skating, and she is asked by Zach, Luther Vandross as Zach, to talk about what job she's suited for and what she likes to do or whatever. And I realized that we talk a lot about the third thing is the most important, and it's interesting. But looking back on this, I just watched this video. It's the third thing that Susie talks about that Luther Vandross, Zach, picks up on, and talks about careers in, because she talks about how she likes to sew, that's her favorite hobby. And he talks about careers in sewing. Now, don't get me wrong, you know my thoughts about hobbies and careers, and how you want to kind of understand what you do for yourself as a hobby and what you do for money for a career, not as necessarily as the same thing, right? So because of, well, there are a lot of episodes about that, so I won't go on about that. But it's a little bit interesting that I basically modeled myself on a cartoon version of Luther Vandross, which is, I like that. I like that I learned that about myself today. Well, anyway, check out that video, and it's in the description. Okay, so I'm going to draw two cards, and that's going to help us think about our impossible dream. It'll probably help us fend off the Future Blob, the third character of that short cartoon public service announcement that I didn't mention is actually a character. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, then watch that video. You're gonna love the Future Blob. I love the Future Blob. I gotta say, that's like that would be my alter ego. I could be both. If I could be both Zach, voiced by Luther Vandross, and the Future Blob as like an alter ego, it kind of seems to be the case in the video. You kind of get the sense that like Zach and the Future Blob kind of are working together here in the video. I don't know. They might be in cahoots, which is cool. I would totally be in cahoots with the Future Blob. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, okay. All right, here we go. Card number 1. How do we follow our impossible dream and stave off the Future Blob or become the Future Blob? Okay, here we go. 1, 2. I'm going to do 3 casual shuffles, as I call them. And then I'm going to do the more thorough shuffle. I had a problem with that yesterday where the cards kind of didn't shuffle very well. But that's okay. Doesn't matter. Still counts. All right. I'm going to look for the gap. Oh, this is it. There it is. There it is. I lost the card. Okay, got it. All right. Card number 5. Translation is your enemy. Consider when transitioning to a new field of work that one type of work cannot sensibly translate into another. So this is interesting. This is a good way to, one, fend off the future blob. Like the young lady in the video who was talking about things she actually had experience with as thoughts for her future. So, that dream that you have, live that dream in the original language, in its original language. This card is telling us to not try to change or transfer or interpret that dream in anything but its original language, and understand that. And then you'll know what experience you have had that will continue you on to help you achieve that impossible dream. And that is what translation is your enemy is all about in this case, because it's all about thinking about how to talk about and do experiences that you have experience with, that you're not trying to kind of shoehorn yourself into something that doesn't fit. It's, when Luther Vandross, as Zach, was asking the young lady, I don't think her name is Susie. I don't think she has it. I don't think she's named in the video. I don't know why I made up the name Susie. Maybe there's another video where she's in it and is named Susie. Anyway, so the dream there is something that suits us in as it did the young lady in the video, and something that we dream of doing. So that's why the translation part is this is a warning not to translate your experiences and ideas and dreams, just to live them in their original language. Okay, so that's message 1. I'll put this card aside so I don't draw it again, because these cards are I'll just draw it again and the cards will laugh. Sometimes I think these cards are the future blob. They probably are. Okay, so let me do 3 casual shuffles. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll draw our second card for our second tip. And we will shuffle. Ooh, cards dropped on the floor. Okay, I just put the ones that fell on the floor, I put them in the back. So I won't choose them. Here we go. All right. Oh, this is a hidden card. There it is. I found the gap and where the card is. Culture is a living being. Card number 47. I just drew this a week ago. And so this is understanding that all things, all arrangements of human beings, all groups have a culture, and finding that group that aligns with your impossible dream is the key. So here we're talking about people as an identifiable and cohesive group, and those people who are part of the group and the culture that connects to that impossible dream of yours, those are the people to go towards. And that's the culture to go towards and the group to go towards. So keep that in mind. So step 1, we had translation is your enemy. So living your dream in its original language. That means literally, in terms of maybe you want to live somewhere that doesn't speak the language that you have to use because of the culture around you right now on a daily basis, and maybe it's not your heart language, or maybe it's there's another place or another language that you want to do and place you want to be, or figuratively use the experiences like the young lady in the commercial with Zach from the 1980s. think about what suits you, and that is your work language. And avoiding translating it means speaking that work language that you know. And your dream has a language. And if you don't know the language of your dream, find out the language of that dream in terms of what work it is about, and then go for it. And step 2 is culture is a living being. That means that we should focus on what groups of people represent the culture of our impossible dream, and find that group and live that dream. And then it won't be impossible anymore. Because remember, things that you think are beyond you are within your capabilities. That is a fact of Life's Potluck Buffet that we see every day in the world. So please understand that. Though it sounds like it's an impossible dream, your dream is unique to you, and it is most certainly going to become a reality for you starting now.